Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I used to spend hours editing, especially when it came to skin tones, blemishes, and keeping everything consistent. And when you're working with a lot of images, that adds up over time. But about a year ago, I started using Evoto, and it completely changed my editing style. The retouching is fast, natural, and basically keeps up with my editing style altogether, and actually looks extremely professional. It's helped me cut down my editing time drastically without sacrificing quality. Then recently, Evoto reached out to me. But the thing is, by that time, I've already been using the software for a year. So when they asked if I want to collaborate, it was practically a no-brainer. This isn't just some random promo. This is something I've been working with for a while that's part of my ecosystem of retouching. And if you want to try it out, I've got a link for you to download Evoto and try it for yourself. You'll get 15 free credits just for signing up. And when you're ready to go further, use my coupon code MAXIM. That gives you 15% off annual subscription and 20% off 200 credits on pay as you go. If you're a photographer that wants to save time and still get top tier quality and results, you should definitely check it out. I'm going to show you an example of how I use the program by showing you a couple of images that I have right now. So let's take a look. All right, so let's get started here. I'm going to show you guys like the kind of steps that I take to go through all of this, how my editing process is with Evoto. With Evoto, you can definitely do a full-on retouch and call it a day, export the images, and you're good to go. Absolutely. I like to do certain little things, color grading, skin retouching, that sort of stuff. But yeah, they have full on like everything you could think of. Let's close here. I don't normally use the color adjustments section where it's like the AR color stuff, but sometimes I do necessarily need it depending on like the type of photo shoot I'm going for. If there's a certain kind of style or whatnot, you can upload like reference photos here to kind of give that like whatever you're trying to reference in terms of the image. But they also have here some stock images that you can also use for reference. Let's take a look here. Let's go to Lotus. All right. As you can see, it gave kind of like a yellow tint on the pictures. You can reduce the amount if you want to, back and forth as much as you really want. So that's also an option here. There is it even gives you previews. Wow, I actually had no idea. This is really good. The previews are amazing. So let's check that out too. 35 millimeter film. Sorry. Yes, this is absolutely amazing. This would go great with like if you're doing more so natural lighting type of portraits where you're trying to get a film look, hence the name 35 millimeter film. There's like with film, it gives you like a nice blue tint with a lot of films, depending on the type of film you're using. I used to use film when I was back in like maybe high school, you know, that kind of stuff. So this would work if you're trying to create that or emulate that film look, right? Let's go. So you still have all full controls here, exposure. You have contrast here. I'm working with raw files, so not everything's baked in. So you can definitely play with the coloring, the exposure, the highlights. So Evoto handles raw files very well. You can up the shadows, all that, everything you want when it comes to these kind of things here. Let's go back and reverse that. So they do have filters here as well that you can use. Let's see, let's do P1. see what it does here. You zoom in. Right there. And they also give you an amount that you can use, you know. What it seems to do with P1 is basically bring up your shadows. And you can always reverse it if you prefer to as well. But yeah, this is the color adjustments tab, where you can play around and color grade the images as you please. Yeah, like I said, you can use Evoto for your entire process of color grading, retouching, and even exporting the files to whatever type of format that you prefer. So what I normally do, I would go to portrait retouching. Now in portrait retouch, they have different options here. They have blemish removal, skin retouching, facial reshading, facial expression, right? Teeth, eyes, makeup, hair, hands, and full body reshape. With me, what I like to do is I go directly first to blemish removal. I pump this up to like all the way, to be honest, when it comes to face refinement, where it says freckles and acne. Now, when I do that, right, you'll see everything has been removed, any kind of blemishes that are there. So let's toggle between the two to kind of get a visual representation of what's going on. It removes all the little spots and stuff like that. There's still a bit right here, 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 but those are easily removed as well. They have tools, healing tool up here at the top here. They also have liquefy. If you're a retoucher, you definitely know about those two tools. So if you want to do more removal of freckles or any kind of blemishes, you can do that with the heal tool here. Absolutely. If you want to save the freckles, you can bring the slider all the way back and get the freckles back, right? You can even bring back some of the acne if you want to keep it a little bit more natural, or, you know, all that kind of junk. So that's like normally what I do when it comes to face refinement. Sorry, face refinement. They also have other options here, which is reduce shine on face. You can do that, reduce face shine. So we'll pump it all the way up if you want to, and boom, you'll see a bit of the highlights kind of like fade down a little bit. This is good if you're doing headshots. If you're trying to, if you have, say, like a beauty dish and it's a little bit more harsher than you really wanted to, but because maybe you're shooting in a fast-paced environment, or you didn't really have time, you can use this to kind of take away the sheen from the face and the forehead, right? So that's reduce face shine. You can bring it up, you can slide it depending on your dark under eyes. So dark circles, you know, the dark circles under the eye, sometimes depending on the light, that does happen. Boom, takes care of it, out of here. That's what we like to see. Makes your job so much quicker to do this, right? We have here eye bags. Eye bags are good to go. Difference between eye bags and dark circles a little bit more right under the eyes. Eye bags are below, so it takes care of the below part where it gets a little droopy, right? Dark circles are right at the top, right here, right? When you're doing that. So it takes care of that for you. You don't have to go all the way with dark circles, because sometimes you want to be able to still have that dimension there. That's what I like to do. Me, I'm a naturalist when it comes to my editing style. If you watch any of my previous videos, I like to keep things pretty natural. So that's how I like to do it. Let's see here. lip wrinkle, that is something I do. Um, Reason being, sometimes clients um, lip gloss, or maybe they didn't put any like moisturizer for their lips or anything like that. Gets a little cracked. You can fix that with one slider. You know, that's it. um, Here's also another option here, which is double chin. It gets rid of a double chin. Let's see what happens. Does it? There we go. Well, yeah. I don't normally use the double chin remover. I just go into liquify and kind of do my thing there. Um, but definitely lip wrinkles and flakes. That's one of the number one things I use. Um, let's see, forehead wrinkles. Yes, sometimes when clients are doing a photo shoot and they want to raise an eyebrow, your forehead gets a little wrinkled, like how mine is. Like here, you see that? This takes care of that. You know, I don't use it a lot. I selective photos, yes, depending on what it is, right? Let's take a look at another picture here. Okay. While we go through all this, as you can see, we can do maybe eye wrinkles. Oh, you see that? You see that? Takes away the wrinkles from the corner of her eyes here. That is marvelous. Takes so much time off of you having to go in, zoom in, and do all the healing yourself. This does that for you. If you are shooting a lot of men, they do have an option here called beard protection, because a lot of these options kind of go over the beard. This option will help you protect the beard. If you have, like myself, I have a glorious beard. Glorious. Um, the beard protection will take care of protecting the beard, as stated in the name. But if you shoot mostly women, don't have to worry about that. Let's see here, smile lines. If you want to take care of the smile lines, you can. Boom, that takes care of it. That I'll say has been a thorn in my side for a long time. Especially to get it to rightfully blend in with the skin and not be overpowering or not enough, right? It is time consuming. I like, what can I say? This, like I said, reduces my time. Body blemishes. So it doesn't just do the face. When you're using blemish removal, we also can do body refinement, which is doing body blemishes. So you see, as it take away all of the blemishes on the body. And you can do neck wrinkles. Wrinkles are gone. Boom. That's all you need. Armpits, and also stomach for stretch marks and stuff. So, you know, a lot of times when you're working with women, or even sometimes men, you get stretch marks if you're showing some skin. So this takes care of a lot of this stuff. These kind of settings are really good if you're doing full body portraits. Also, if you're doing close-up portraits as well. Like, these stuff take away so much effort and time that you would have to put into just zooming in and retouching those things individually all the damn time. Now, obviously, you don't want to go into heavy on everything if you're trying to be natural about everything. So that's why there's sliders here, right? They're not just buttons, they're sliders. So you can slide them back and forth till you feel comfortable with how they're looking. Let's go into another image here. Me personally, I work with a lot of different ethnicities when it comes to my work. So let's see how Evoto handles different ethnicities as well, which I think it does a marvelous job, because like I said, I've been using this program for about a year. So this does amazing work with blemishes. Look at that. Face refinement takes care of the freckles, everything. Let's do, as you can see, she does have dark circles under the eyes. So let's see if I can get rid of that too. Absolutely good. Look at that. That's amazing. Eye bags, gone. Beautiful. That's amazing. Lip wrinkles, again, amazing. Done. So much less work that you got to do. So much less work. Let's go to smile line. You can reduce those. Man. Listen, when I heard of Evoto and I tried it out for myself like last year, I said, this is a game changer. This takes so much time away from everything you get so much time back. So much time. I've reduced my time of when I would return pictures because of Evoto. Like, that's how much I use the program now. Like, it's part of my workflow. So yes, absolutely amazing. Let's see what it does here. See how she still has body blemishes? So we can even do that as well. We can, let's go up to like 65. Boom. Eps. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's do something else. Let's do something else here. Let's zoom in to 100%. We're gonna go into the face. We're gonna go to skin retouching. All right. Let's go into a different picture here. So also, when you are doing this, you don't have to do this to each individual picture. There is a sync button. You can highlight the pictures you want by using the shift key or on your keyboard. And then you click sync. It gives you options to sync every single option that you've done. Or you can just click off which ones you don't. But you also have a drop-down menu where you can kind of personally choose which ones, right? That's amazing. You sync it, the settings you had for the last one, go on to whatever images you've selected, basically. So let's go into this here right quick. Sorry. Okay. It's still processing. Whoop. Okay. So like the settings here that I did with blemish removal, you have an option to revert that or even use a manual tuning, which is basically masking, right? So you go in, it gives you the masking option, and then you can kind of erase things that you don't want to add into that. I use that sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. It helps really give you control also. So it's not just everything just like manually done for you. You can get back some control, automated done for you, automated, but you can get some control back by manually doing stuff if you want to as well. For this, let's go into skin blemishes. Dodge and burn, something we know a lot as retouchers, photographers. We know this does even dodge and burn. So this is doing mostly facial right now, so you can pump it up to as much as you want. Let's go up to like 60. Freaking amazing what it did here. Look at that. It evened out the skin. You could go all the way. Sometimes for me, depending on the image, I will go all the way. Depending, it really, you can do that. There's also sculpt dodge and burn. Let's see what that does. Basically, it's darkening the shadows, increasing the highlights to give you more of a dimension. You know, make the image pop a little bit more, make the skin pop a little bit more. So that's what you can do with sculpting. Let's see here. Let's go back. They have texture smoothing. Like if your client has very textured skin, it can smooth out that texture for you. So let's go back on that. They have frequency separation. Beautiful, right? Frequency separation. If you're a retoucher, like I said, editor, you know what frequency separation is. You can increase the intensity, high frequency, low frequency. You can do whatever you want using those controls. Let's see here. They have skin smoothing. You can go as much as you want. I prefer to not use that all the time. I will, if I do, I'll maybe go up to like 10% of that. Even it has even dodge and burn for body. So let's see here. Even dodge and burn for the body. And they got frequency separation for the body. Let's see how that looks. Like, look at that. Look at that. Look, it takes care of that. It takes all of that for you, right? So let's revert and say if you can use these in combination. Like if you look at if you go back to blemish removal, right? And you do body blemishes and you say you increase that to 100, it takes care of all of that. Let's go. And then you go back to skin retouch and you do even dodge and you do frequency separation. Yeah, see, you don't have to go all the way to 50. You can go like 25. Mostly I go to like 25, 50, or 100, depending on the settings. That's how I kind of move when it comes to that kind of stuff. But yeah, this was amazing. That's amazing, right? They also have skin textures. So like if you want a more matte look on the face, it'll do that for you. If you want a more satin look, do that. You want a more dewy look, if you're a makeup artist or whatever, this is for you. Boom. Yeah. But if you want to keep it natural, you can do that too. They have skin tone unification. So sometimes in the face, you'll see that there are a bit of differences in the skin coloring, right? Nothing is unified on your face. It gives you dimension. But with this, you can help with that by sliding it up, the complexion. Let's go in deep. And let's see what that did. Yes, look at that. It evened it out. You can see that. You can definitely see that. Yeah, let's do it without the other settings. I want to see what that looks like. Look at that. Evened it out. But it still kept it so realistic. You also have the same thing when it comes to the body. Unified body complexion. So that way the face and the body matches, because sometimes when you're doing photo shoots, the face makeup, like the foundation, is a little bit off when it comes to the body, because sometimes some parts of your body gets more light than the others. So sometimes there will be variations in terms of skin tone when the sun is hitting you and stuff like that. So that's a normal thing. Happens over time as you grow up. That's what happens. This takes care of that for you to keep everything unison. And like it says, a slider, so you can go back and forth with it. That's how it goes. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go to this picture. They have a whole heap of other options here that you can play with. Teeth, eyes, etc. But what I like to do is hair. So straight hair removal. I use that a lot when I use Evoto. Takes care of the hair, the strands of hair that I don't want there. Look at that. Let's go in a little bit closer, see what it did there. Yeah, see, strands gone. Takes care of that for me. That's one of the most tedious work is hair. One of the most tedious work besides skin is hair. Hair takes forever to do when you're retouching, editing. This takes care of that like that for you. So let's remove that. But that's one of the stuffs that I do. They have many options here, so many things that you can do. They even have it selected in a way where it's like you can do male, female, child, senior, or all, or choose individuals, you know. It just knows. It just knows. Now, you might think that, man, that's all they do. You're a portrait photographer, so sometimes you shoot indoors. Guess what? Guess what? You know the problems we have as portrait photographers who shoot full body sometimes. And say you don't have a big backdrop to take care of your client. This does it for you. And I'm gonna show you guys. They have background adjustments, solid backdrop refinement, distraction removal, clean backdrop, unified lighting. What? You know the problem with when you have backdrops that the back of the backdrop is very bright and the bottom is very dark, or vice versa. This unified lighting, that's what it does. Let's take a look. So if you click the button here, it'll tell you this feature only works on solid backdrops with distractions detected. With distraction detected, you can bypass that, go into the drop down and click distractions. You know how long this would have taken? This is done in minutes. And then clean your backdrop. You see, look at the floor. If you're a photographer, you know how tedious it is to clean a backdrop. One button. Drop down menu, solid backdrop. Backdrop's clean. Look at this. Look at this. What is going on? Absolutely stellar. Stellar, stellar, stellar. Unify lighting. You go there, solid. The lighting is unified. That line at the bottom that usually you get from if you have an over top lighting situation, that's like usually right. Yeah, man, this is absolutely amazing. Like, truly. Let's go into something else here. So like we said, let's sync up. You can even sync up the backdrop settings that you put. You go here, you sync it up. So everything you did with the previous picture will go on to the other picture, right? Excellent. So even with this, let's see what else we can get into here. Wrinkles, right? Let's go into de-wrinkle. De-wrinkle the outfit. You can do that as well with Evoto. Like, look at this. Let's see before and after. You take so many hours off your plate. So many hours. So yeah, that's how Evoto works and how I use it personally for my workflow and everything like that. So yeah, I say this is a great program for a lot of photographers, portrait photographers, wedding photographers, people that just want to cut down time and still get like quality results without it being like overly edited, look like, this does it all for you. You can start and finish on Evoto if you really wanted to. And like I said, I do have a promo code. I'll leave that in the description and also the links for you to go to as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and let me know, how would Evoto fit into your workflow? All right, take care. See you guys again in the next video.